And we were literally, I mean, as close as we are to this camera, to Annabelle. She had stanchions to block her, and she was obviously in her glass confinement. They gathered everybody around. They told us about her. And then they had what was really cool, the Warner Brothers prop of Annabelle. So you got to see the movie Annabelle and the real thing. Hi, hello.
Hi.
Welcome back. You're gonna know this now, but this is attempt 2.
Yes.
At filming this because Denisha was a dummy and left it in 720.
It is in
1080.
Okay. Perfect.
I verified.
No, she was not a dummy. We moved and things had been logged out of, logged back in, and we just merely forgot to change the settings.
Yeah.
No dummy. We just forgot. But now we're
back.
Not extra prepared, but now we're
better.
A little bit more prepared.
It's still going to take us some easing into. I mean, this is the first time we've done this in a while.
Yes, for sure.
So yeah, we've moved. The setup is different. We'll be able to decorate, and we have nice chairs instead of the stools.
And we can sit crisscross applesauce.
Thank goodness.
I'm so excited. Thank you to the people who contributed.
Yes,
contribution.
Contributed to this contribution.
Who? What would the right words be?
Contributed to this.
Who participated in this contribution?
Sure.
Yeah.
So we'll make it look aesthetically pleasing.
Eventually,
As we go.
It'll come with time. But it's season 3, bitches.
Season
3. Episode, I don't know. All I know is episode 1 of season 3.
I was gonna say I have since way lost count. 30 something, I think.
Yeah, it has to be like 31 or 32.
Who knows?
Probably 31.
Anyway, yeah. So we're doing the damn thing again. Thank you for waiting on us.
Your patience. We appreciate it.
Much appreciated. Especially you, Dad, who's been texting me like every week, like, when you filming again?
He's like, where's my episode? Where's my episode?
So today, I guess we just want to ease into it, and we'll talk about, we went to Maine. We talked about how we were going to go to a paranormal convention and meet Annabelle.
Yes.
And then we did some ghost hunting of our own, and we'll talk about that.
Exciting stuff. Yeah, so we did our annual trip up to Maine, and that was a trip. We usually go for like almost 2 weeks at a time.
And we'll drive 2.5 days.
Yeah. We got up there in like a day and a half. Yeah, we stopped one night and drove all the way through. Oh my God, don't recommend.
It was rough.
It was very rough. We had to pack a whole bunch of stuff into like 3 or 4 days up there, and one of the things was the Paranormal Expo. Mainly went because we were going to be up there around that time anyway, and Annabelle. The real Annabelle doll.
The real Annabelle
was going to be up there. That was an experience in itself.
Ashley almost passed out.
I did. I almost passed out. The whole convention itself was really cool. There was a lot of like local artists up there that were selling all kinds of like wet specimens, and like I bought some earrings that were made out of moose teeth, and books and journals and anything spooky, magical related you can think of. There was vendors up there. It'd be so freaking cool to have a booth up there.
Oh yeah.
We bought a few books from a author that was up there. I'll pop it in because for the life of me I don't remember his name off the top of my head, but I'll pop in photos of the books. What did we get? We got 3 or 4, 2 to 4.
They're somewhere on the shelf.
Yeah. But they're really cool. They're obviously paranormal related. But I'll pop them in. But he was so sweet. He was so nice. And the guy was only selling his books for $10 a piece. I'm like, what the?
And we got them autographed. And he, I believe his messages in each of the books related to the books.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. He was a really nice man.
Very, very nice. But
Yep.
yeah, I mean, the expo was really cool. There were some people dressed up. There was the big clown guy who was on
On stilts.
stilts, rocking a um sledgehammer looking thing and had a backpack blasting some
He'll
music.
be there again next year too.
Yeah, it was really cool.
We met Ronnie LeBlanc.
Yes. So my dad and I really love watching Expedition Bigfoot. Well, we haven't watched it together in a while since I moved out, but we used to always love watching it together. And one of the guys that used to be on the show was Ronnie LeBlanc. And my dad found out, or I told my dad that he was actually going to be there. My dad's like, oh my God, I know that guy, whatever. He reached out to him. We went and saw him. Super, super nice guy. We got 2 books from him that he's written, and I think he's working on his third, which is going to be pretty cool because one of my dad's personal stories is going to be in that book. I can't wait to get that book. That's going to be so freaking cool. But yeah, he's no longer on Expedition Bigfoot for a story that's way too long to talk about. But yeah, he does that. He studies and looks for UAPs or UFOs and just all around, just a really, really, really chill, really cool guy. I follow him on Facebook now. So.
Yeah, I have him on Instagram and TikTok.
Yeah, they're actually, I don't think Dad and I are going to do it, but we were talking about, or he asked me if I wanted to go.
The Bigfoot camp thing.
Yeah, they were going to have like a big camping thing, and everybody, if they brought like a partner or whoever, and you could stay in like a cabin, and you would go out with Ronnie LeBlanc and like a few other people and go out there and go explore and search for Bigfoot and stuff like that. I thought that would have been really cool, but I don't think Dad and I are going to do it because he hasn't mentioned it since. So,
well, and there's
it's
been a
kind
lot
of expensive
life changes since that conversation as well.
For sure. But yeah, and then we
Annabelle.
met Annabelle.
So we had a specific time block, and it was a 30-minute time session that you could get. And so ironically, we were the first people in line for our time session.
We were kind of early.
And Ashley's heart rate just kept jumping up, and she was psyching herself out. She was very nervous.
For sure.
Which, I mean, it is, everything you read is horrifying about Annabelle. And so there you are, you're about to be face to face with her. And so I think it was a gentleman, I still haven't found his name, but he came out and he greeted us and he asked if anybody had any questions. There was a polite shutdown for some misconstrued situations with Dan Riviera, who passed away.
Yeah.
Not related to Annabelle.
No, definitely not. He had his own health related issues that were going on.
So there was that situation. And then whenever we were allowed in, we came in, we were greeted by a gentleman named Wade, who's on the NESBAR team. He saw my Osmo Pocket and was like, oh, y'all are going to be troublemakers. Come right over here. In a joking way. And we were literally, I mean, as close as we are to this camera to Annabelle. She had stanchions to block her, and she was obviously in her glass confinement.
Yep.
They gathered everybody around. They told us about her. There was some other artifacts in there, like the mirror that's actually featured in the last Conjuring movie. And then they had what was really cool, the Warner Brothers prop of Annabelle. So you got to see the movie Annabelle and the real thing.
Yeah. She's a lot bigger than I thought she was going to be.
Huge.
Like huge. I mean, her case itself was probably at least 3 feet tall.
Yeah.
2 feet wide. I mean,
she could sit in this chair right now as we are.
Yeah.
She is that big.
She was pretty big. I'm glad that they took the precautions though, because obviously they had her in her case that's been blessed and has holy water, holy oil, all that type of stuff on it. But they also had like it blocked off with like ropes stanchions and stuff. Yeah.
I also found it really interesting because, obviously with the tour, they're moving her. She's a Raggedy Ann doll. She's going to fall over. And so they have to readjust her. But they stressed, and we actually could see the gloves. They don't actually touch her with their flesh. They have gloves that have holy water in the fingertips that they will resituate her and then immediately remove themselves from the situation. And I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
But I think it was I was very vocal in my Ed and Lorraine video about how I thought it was an idiotic idea to tour with Annabelle.
I mean, a lot of people thought the same, though.
And after having experienced it, I understand. And I think maybe not so much Annabelle, but like other artifacts and stuff in the NESPAR team especially. I think it's very important that they do this stuff because they're raising awareness and they are squashing, conspiracies and, misconceptions about the paranormal world and the paranormal research.
Yes.
And they are still an active research facility. Like they still do go and investigate and, bless houses and stuff like that.
Yep.
And they seemed like very, very genuine people. It didn't feel like a cash grab. And I know that's what a lot of people thought it was.
No.
Tony and Judy Spera were also there,
Yep.
Ed and Lorraine's daughter and father-in-law, son-in-law. And so we didn't really talk to them just because
No, we just kind of left them alone.
yeah, a whole lot of people were already kind of bombarding them and stuff like that. But I don't know, it's something that I will take with me no matter what, because not only have I seen, like, whether you believe that Ed and Lorraine Warren were hoaxes, whatever, it doesn't change the fact that their team and what they have done is a vital part of the paranormal world that we know today. And the fact that we have seen a piece of paranormal history is something that I will take with me wherever.
Yeah, literally. I mean, the whole entire time that we were in there, Wade, I mean, he was just giving us so much history about everything. I don't really think there was a second that Wade wasn't talking about anything.
They had to keep him on a strict, like they were, and even still, like,
they're like, okay, wrap it up.
because we wanted a
Wrap it
photo
up.
with Wade and we can pop that in here, but
Yeah.
they were like trying to usher everybody out as
He's still talking. There was inside there though, along with Annabelle. I mean, like, I didn't get any bad vibes. I also try to keep a clear mind because they said even if you were to like think certain things, which I think is what was psyching me out going in there, was like, oh my God, even if I don't say anything out loud, like if I was to think something bad about her, like something could happen. But I don't think so, because with all the precautions, like Denisha said, everything that they take to keep everybody safe and, to keep it confined and all that type of stuff. But once I was in there and I was able to like view Annabelle, see the whole entire like situation, I was able to calm down a lot more, which I'm glad, because then I was actually able to enjoy the moment. But they had the what was the mirror that was in there? Was that from a movie? Like was a movie from Ed and Lorraine like based off of that mirror, or was it not?
There's a little bit of like because obviously they can't fit everything into one movie. So the mirror is in the most recent movie, Conjuring Last Rites, which, by the way, came out a day before we actually met Annabelle.
Yeah.
But I believe the history of the mirror is a bit warped from the movie.
Okay.
Because I don't think it's within the same storyline that they used in the movie.
Okay.
But yeah, it was there.
Yeah. And for those of you who are watching the video version of this, we'll pop in photos of everything that we're talking about.
And we'll post it on Instagram if you're not a visual watcher.
Yes. But it was really cool though. And I mean, they had everything blocked off to where like you couldn't touch anything, which I think is great, because like everything holds energy and just, yeah.
Well, and of course you would have the people that are definitely like, let me touch it.
Yeah.
I want to feel it. I need to touch it.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, also at the same time, when you were talking about cash grabs, I think it's good that they were charging what they were, because not only is it funding Nestbar and what they do and their organization, but it's also kind of weeding out the people who
have nefarious.
Yes, who would just go in there and just mess around, which I mean, I'm sure there's still those type of people who would pay to go in there and mess around, but less likely.
Yeah, because I think it was
more people that were more respectful.
Oh yeah. Well, we had I don't think she was in our group, but there's she goes by Paranormal Princess, and she's really big in the paranormal industry.
Yeah, she's on. Is she on TikTok and Instagram and stuff like that? Yeah. She's really pretty, by the way. She had a booth, or she was one of the people.
She had a booth. She was a vendor.
I think she was doing like meet and greet or something.
Yeah, she had. She did a meet and greet. She had a booth. She had photos with like Tony and Judy knew her.
Yeah.
And so like she would just chit chat with them, and she went to we didn't do this, but she went to Stephen King's house and stuff like that as well.
We have to do that one time. Mom and Dad have already been to it, but I think they said it wasn't really what they were expecting.
Yeah,
I mean, I would still like to go see it. Yeah. I think that'd be pretty cool. But yeah, one of the cool things that was two artifacts that were in there that I really thought was cool, aside from Annabelle, was there was the mirror that we were talking about, and it was really cool because they said that they keep blessing it with holy oil. And so like no one's allowed to clean the mirror. So that was like years upon years upon years of holy oil just being like caked onto it. It was actually kind of sad because from what he was saying was it from what I, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think he was saying how in the paranormal world, like spirits and stuff like that see a mirror and they think that it's like a doorway and they go through it thinking that it's leading into another room, and that's how they end up getting trapped in the mirrors. And I thought that's actually kind of sad though. It's really sad. So I mean, I guess if there's anything bad in there, then it can't come out now because it's been blessed. But that, and then there was a like a old-timey shoe from a battle, I think it was, is what it was, because the person's foot got blown off and there was like an actual skeleton foot that was still in the boot. But they got it because whoever had it before kept saying that the boot would sit there and like move and rattle and do all this stuff, but it was in a case. And I don't know, I just, that type of stuff was just really interesting to me, and it's made me more ready to go and dive more into the paranormal stuff and like go and investigate and, you know, all that other kinds of stuff. So, but
I think one of the other, and this isn't related to like Netsbar or Annabelle, but one of the things I really enjoyed when we did go, and we actually looked through all the exhibits and stuff like that, there was a room, actually I think it was 2 rooms, and it was all haunted artifacts. Like we're talking dolls.
We forgot to talk about this the first time.
Books. Yeah, I know. And I was going through my pictures on my phone and I saw them again. Dolls, books, mirrors, hairbrushes, like anything you could think of that could potentially have a haunting to it. And it was in there, and they had pieces of paper that explained what each thing was. And it was astonishing to see. And because there wasn't just stuff that would like be from like American history. I mean, there was definitely some Asian culture items in there. And I want to say there was some, you know, Russian stuff. I want to say there was Russian dolls.
Yeah, I mean, there was Russian dolls. There was teddy bears. There was pieces of
there was a satanic book.
Yeah, there was a book. There was mirrors. There was jewelry. There was, I mean, all types of stuff in there. Hair. Oh, was the hair the one that they do the like the art where they make it into like a wreath type thing?
I think it was a braided bracelet or something.
We'll have to talk about that in an episode because
really interesting.
It is, because people, they'll do art with it. And I believe Two Girls One Ghost talked about it. I think it was Two Girls One Ghost or Ghosties. I don't know. One of the 2 podcasts that I listened to. But they were talking about that and how, and I looked at pictures of it and I was like, holy cow, like that's art. Like it's intricate. If you guys have never looked up, I don't know the name of it, but if you look up like hair wreaths or like wreaths or, you know, whatever made out of hair from like past loved ones, they're intricate. It's really cool. So, but yeah, there was all kinds of stuff in there.
Ouija board room.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They had literally
Ouija board room.
They had pop culture boards that I had never even seen, and then your typical standard boards. They had there was a Child's Play Chucky board.
I wanted to buy one so bad, but I'm so scared. Well, I am scared of Ouija boards.
Which is understandable. I mean, a healthy dose of fear is completely
Imagine if we had a shelf and just had like a little Ouija board just propped up.
Just thinking the same
Chris
thing.
would probably beat the shit out of us for putting that up.
If you want to do Ouija boards, though, I do have that tarot board.
Yeah.
And that's something we could do, is have like the shelf with like tarot cards and
stuff
like that.
Just pop up some shelves behind us and just have some.
Oh, I can't. Maybe we can. I'm going to look at some of that while we go thrifting.
Uh-huh.
Are we still doing that Monday?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Now that your girl's free. Your girls are free.
Oh, we are free.
We are free. Won't get into that. But your girls can hang out a lot more now. We'll put it that way and do all the fun things and hopefully appear more happy and energetic in the videos, because y'all,
we'll have to film when we get off work.
We were not complaining at all because we love it, obviously, but having to go to work all day and then come home and recording at like 7 or 8 o'clock at night, and then not really having a day to like edit and having to do that outside of our normal job,
trying
and
to get social media and then the clips
and then when your normal job is just not it
Everything becomes not it.
Everything becomes not it. But so aside from the expo,
Yes.
we went and visited some friends. I don't know why that was like Transylvania. We went and visited some friends.
I want to suck your blood.
There is a I don't even know the name of it, but we stay in York Beach, Maine, or York, Maine, and there is a local cemetery that's down by their little history museum.
The historic district.
The historic district, yes, thank you. And if you ever find yourself in the area, definitely go take a tour through those historic buildings. The people are very, very knowledgeable. Be kind, be nice to them, and it's wonderful. It's wonderful. I liked hearing all of the history about the places. So go during the fall. It's so beautiful. So beautiful during that time.
The foliage is amazing up there.
Mm-hmm. Yep. The jail, was it the jailhouse?
Yeah, I think it's like the old goal or something like that is what it's called.
Something like that. It's where people stayed to pay off their debt. And so my ass would have been stuck in there a long ass time. Same. Just whittling away. But no, they had a place where you could pay off your debt, and then they had like different rooms that I think you mentioned last time.
Yeah. So it had a window like look through, but it was barred off, but what they used to bar it off was old saw blades. And you could see the ridges, and I actually have a picture of us looking at each other through it, and you can see it in the image.
Like they wouldn't be able to get through that shit.
Yeah, and I thought that was really kind of interesting, and you know, you'd go there and you'd shine shoes or repair shoes or whittle furniture or do whatever it was that they had you do, and then you would go home at the end of the day.
Yeah. Looking at like the old beds that were in there, I'm just like, oh my gosh. Like shit that we complain about now, like I can only imagine back then. And then like the floors, they had stuff that was carved into them from where they would like play games with themselves or whatever with stuff on the floor. And I mean, it was all kinds of stuff. Like we really have it a hell of a lot better than these people did back in the day. Like, just seeing that kind of stuff is kind of eye-opening in itself. But yeah, but aside from that, the cemetery, we visited it not last year, the year before.
Yeah,
I think is what it was. We took a year off, and we just used a little app on my phone, little ghost tube or like something like that. Yeah, Spirit Talker or ghost tube, something like that. But we were getting some sort of feedback on it, and it seemed relevant to what was around, and because there was like a huge massacre that happened, and it said like bloody battle or bloodshed, and all kinds of stuff.
I think massacre was even one of the words that popped out.
Yeah, because I was talking and I remember it came up with like whatever it said, like bloody something. I'm sure I can go into history and look at it, but I was just like, oh, wow, okay. And
then we walk around and we see the monument they have for it.
Yeah. And you know, part of me was kind of skeptical with the app type stuff, which I still kind of am, but I mean, there's been some instances where I'm just kind of like, okay, that can't be just a coincidence, because like the one time we went to Mount Holly Cemetery, it gave me a name and I looked up and she was right the there. Name on the headstone. So, but this time that we went back and visited, and like we said we were going to, we had all kinds of equipment.
We had cat balls, an EMF reader, a REM pod, the app. And then my favorite was the MagSafe or Maglite flashlights.
Maglights, yes. So if you don't know, most of you who are into like the paranormal probably know, but those of you who don't know, the Maglights are the twisty lights at the very end. And so what you do is you have it twisted to where it's just teetering on and off, to where any energy, or if the spirit was to like tap it just even the slightest, it would pop it on and then they could pop it off. So it's because otherwise you're having to actually like use force to move it. But I mean, we did a control with it whenever we went back to the camper. Didn't turn on. You know, we were hopping around the camper, moving the camper, whatever, to see if any like little jiggling would turn it on.
Like right in front of the flashlight.
And it wouldn't turn on. And we did that because my dad was being really skeptical about it, which is fair. But yeah, it wouldn't turn on. But while we were there, there is a plot that is Mary's plot. and she's a lady who died very, very young. Her husband, whenever I think he was having to leave for something, and he went to bury her, but she is the only one in the cemetery that has a big stone covering her grave. And that's just because he didn't want like grave robbers. He didn't want animals or anything like that getting into her gravesite. But people along the years just kind of made up stories and just was saying that she was called the witch, the White Witch. And people have claimed to see a lady walking through the cemetery wearing a white dress, which it very well could be her.
Walking to the schoolyard, which is across the street from the cemetery.
Yeah. And, you know, which I don't think she was able to have kids or something like that. Was
I
she?
don't think so.
So, I mean, maybe she was just attracted, like
maybe she was
wanted
drawn
to go
the kids.
Yeah. Now that I think about that. But no, she wasn't a witch, and we got the information from the museum, the historians and stuff like that. People just come up with all kinds of stories, and it's
a game of telephone.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see because literally while we were there the first time, they were doing haunted ghost tours in the cemetery. And they were going up to Mary's grave. So and that might be a cash grab.
Oh yeah. Well, and her grave
but she's not a witch.
Covered in offerings.
Which I think is really sweet in general. And Denise and I have definitely left some stuff there, but that's where we sat the light down. We sat it on the stone that was covering her grave, and there's no way that we could move it, that it, you know, any vibration on the ground from the vehicles, like it was too far to even move. So do you want to explain what happened?
So we sat him down. We backed off. Also, sorry, my cat is, we're in his chair.
He's making an appearance. He looked at me. He's like, "You're not mom. I'm going to move."
But we sat the lights down, and we backed off. Okay, dang, Chewy. Give me a second. I'll move. There. Didn't move quick enough, Mom. We sat them down, and we were probably 3 feet away.
Yeah, at least 3 or 4 feet away.
We, started asking some questions. I believe Ashley was like, if anyone is here, can you please turn the flashlight on? And boom, it turns on.
And no, we have never used this method before.
Ever.
That night.
And we have it on camera, the first interaction. And
we were shooketh. Like, I could have pooed my pants. Like, y'all, our jaws were like,
drop.
Like, what? I couldn't believe that happened in front of us. I was like, my God.
After that, she was like, oh my God. Be like, that's so great. Can you turn it off for me? And, it would turn off. And so we started
like slowly starting to turn off. And I'm just sitting there like a proud parent, like, yes, you got it. You got it. You could turn it off just a little bit more.
And so, we're asking more questions, and we're getting pretty solid responses the whole time.
Yeah. I don't think it ever really went off unless we were asking it a question.
And so
very intelligent, whoever we were speaking to. I'm assuming it was Mary.
I think so, because that
obviously don't know, but
what we got the most interaction from, because we even tried to go to other graves.
Yeah, it never worked anywhere else aside from being on her grave. Like her gravesite had the most energy. Yeah.
And so, okay, look. But so we went and we did that, and then there was a part where we went back twice. We went back another night, and then
you get addicted.
And then my husband was like, "Oh, tell Mary I said hi," because he doesn't like that kind of stuff. He's supportive of my interest, but he doesn't want to touch it with a 10-foot pole. And so I said, "Oh, Mary, my husband says hi." Light turns on.
I was like, "Oh!"
And so we do that. And we're asking more questions. Anyway, I put the REM pod down I think it was on Mary's grave, on the slab of concrete. Mm-hmm. And we were asking it like, okay, like, can you walk over from the flashlight to the REM pod and make the REM pod go off? Because if you don't know, REM pod is motion. It goes off when it senses motion. And so the light goes off. And in the time that it would take to walk to the REM pod, that's the time it took. And then the REM pod started going off. And it kept going off. And so when it finally stopped, I went over, put my hand in front of it. I'm doing all the things to make it go off, and nothing. Nothing. So that was something else that we caught.
Yeah, because I think at one point we were thinking like, oh, maybe it's like in a malfunction or something. Because I in my head I was just like, okay, that's weird because it seemed like they literally walked away from the flashlight, walked over to the REM pod, and I remember I think you were standing away from it and it started going off, and I was like, okay, that's not me, that's not you, and then it wouldn't stop, and I know you were gonna go for it, and I was like, hold on, I was like, if that's you making the REM pod go off, can you turn it off? And then all of a sudden it turned off, and I was like, oh my God. Okay, but that was like one of the only times that the REM pod went off.
The REM
It
pod
didn't go
wouldn't
off.
typically go off.
No, it was just mainly the flashlight, which they didn't like the cat balls. Perfectly fine. The flashlight, that was just amazing in itself that they were able to turn that on. But I am so ready to do some paranormal like investigations.
It's gonna happen. It's coming.
It's coming, and I'm excited. Just thinking about it is like re-triggering the like I'm ready to go do all this stuff.
I'll be
Do all the things and stuff. If we end up going to that one place that's in Arkansas, that old military base, Dad said he wants to go, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
we need to get him on the show so we can talk Bigfoot.
Yes, we do. We do. He's really big into Bigfoot and UFOs and all the fun stuffs, and he has some experiences himself, so we'll let him tell you guys about those. But yeah, I mean, that was pretty much it. I know, at least for me, I was all the way home. I was just like, please let us drive home safe. Please let us drive home safe. Because I'm just like, oh my God, please don't let Annabella like curse us going home.
Which, ironically, stuff happened after I got home. I got 2 flat tires.
Wait.
Remember? So one flat tire happened, and then the second time I got a flat, and we drove. So actually, that happened while we were in Maine. We drove with it. It was on the sidewall, so we didn't know, and it was a slow leak only whenever it had pressure on it.
Yeah.
We drove all the way home with a nail in my tire.
We're so lucky that it didn't blow.
Yeah.
Because we drove like, what, 1,000-something miles?
Yeah. And we just kept re-inflating the tire. It was
Maybe Annabelle liked us, and she's like, I'm going to keep you safe. But I know you and we kept telling each other that both of our grandmas were chilling in the back seat, keeping us safe the whole drive. We're like, okay, Gigi and Granny. I'm like, y'all be besties back there. Y'all keep these besties in line and keep us safe.
And they did. They did.
Yeah. But yeah, so that was just a little bit about our Maine trip and seeing Annabelle and our little investigation and what we caught. And yeah.
Our next episode's going to be about the holidays.
Yes, I'm very excited. So it'll be out by Christmas.
Getting a double whammy of us this week. And then we'll get back on like regular scheduled programming.
back to regular scheduled programming.
That's what I said.
Yeah, I was trying to say it too, and it didn't work. It didn't work.
And maybe next time we'll actually have a new sign off.
Yeah.
Because I still don't remember what our old one was. Okay, we'll catch you on the next one.
Okay, bye guys.